Did you want to learn about ChatGPT inside and out? In this series, I will be walking through everything from the very basics of ChatGPT to more hidden secret features, complex things you didn't know you could actually do with ChatGPT. And it could go from anywhere from fun and personal to actually making you tons of money in your business, or just starting your business from scratch right now. Whether that's features on organization, on coding, generating images and things like that. We're going to go through all of ChatGPT, including agents, AI agents, but it will be throughout the playlist. So at first I wanted to create a whole course and I started recording it, but it turned out I was 3 hours in. I had not recorded my screen properly. So I had to restart anyway. And then I thought, I'm 3 hours in and I'm only like halfway done. So it will be like a 6-hour course on ChatGPT. And I don't know if that's very digestible. And also, if I put out a 6-hour course on ChatGPT and learn that nobody wants it because it's my first videos out here on this channel, I will be pretty sad and disappointed. So I thought I will start with providing more bite-sized videos that could be anywhere from 15, 20, 30 minutes to maybe an hour or two on each module or chapter. However, it will just be a little bit more bite-sized than the 6-hour module that I had. But if you still want the 6-hour course, it will be anywhere from like 3 to 6 hours. But if you still want that on YouTube, let me know and I can still make that happen. But just for right now, we're going to go through more bite-sized of what's happening. So I have it into 7 different modules, and I will go over the different modules with you as like a table of content. And then in each video, we can talk about just the one module in particular. But depending on how big the video becomes, I might even break it down into not just a module, but each module has like 3 chapters. So I might just breaking down into individual chapters rather than just the module. So in this video, we'll be going over the foundations of ChatGPT. So what is ChatGPT? The different versions, the difference between paid and free version, just getting you started. So what's on the sidebar, what's on the main screen, what can you find in different, just on your screen in general, understanding what you're seeing in front of you, as well as a few basic features that you would like to know, but that you probably would figure it out by yourself if you use it a couple of times. So this is really to just get you started if you don't know anything about ChatGPT. We'll be talking about some limitations that it has, but also how you can customize ChatGPT so that it gives you the type of tone and response that you like so that it can help you better. But if you already know all about the basics of ChatGPT, maybe you've been using it for a while and you don't really need the complete beginner video of it, then feel free to skip to the second video in this playlist where we're going to be talking about mastering prompts in ChatGPT. Definitely don't skip that one because I talk about the craft framework for prompts and I basically give you the key to unlocking better, more useful prompts when you're using ChatGPT. But in the meantime, if you do want to stick around for the basics, here we go. So first up, what is ChatGPT? So ChatGPT is an AI-powered chatbot built on large language models, LLM. What does that mean? So that means that it takes your input, which is your prompt, it processes it, processes it using a trained neural network, and it generates human-like responses. So it's taking your information that you're giving it, your prompt, it's using the information it was given, the bank of knowledge it was given, and it generates response based on that. So you can think of it as your assistant, as your AI assistant, let's just say. Some of the things it can do includes explaining things very clearly, helping you brainstorm ideas, writing text, different types of text, whether that's a story, an essay, an email, writing text in different styles, solving mathematical equations, logic problems, all those things, coding, writing programs, writing code, and debugging code as well, translating languages, and even acting as a tutor, researcher, or even a creative collaborator. So now, you may or may not know that ChatGPT has different versions. So the free plan includes or uses GPT 3.5. That's fast, it's good for casual tone, but it's less accurate for complex tasks. So it has a little bit less reasoning power, I guess I would say. There are also some features which are absent in the free plan, I will say that. Now, the paid plan, we can either have ChatGPT Plus, which is $20 a month, $20 a month, or the ChatGPT Enterprise. We're not going to be talking about the Enterprise version. Whenever I say the paid ChatGPT, I'm talking about $20 per month. But this one includes ChatGPT or GPT-4, GPT-4o or Omni, and even GPT-5. So what's the difference between those? GPT-4 is already a strong reasoning, has strong reasoning capability compared to the 3.5, and it has better writing. Now, the GPT-4o or 4 Omni, it's faster, more multimodal. So that's better for handling text, voice, images, and things like that. And then we have GPT-5, which is the powerhouse. That's the cutting edge. This one has improved memory, problem-solving abilities, and multimodal performance. So this one is really like the best, like crème de la crème for what we have so far. Now, there are a couple features, for example, projects and libraries, advanced memory, and some integrations that are only present in the paid version of ChatGPT and not the free version. So for example, on the screen here, you can see the difference on my screen when I'm using the free version compared to when I have the paid version. So you see on the side here, it allows me to create a project, and we'll go over projects a little bit more in future videos in this series, but basically they're like folders that allow you to organize your thoughts into just a concise, concrete place here. But that's only available in the paid plan. Now let's just use the free one and start with a simple demo of, let's ask it, when is Canadian Thanksgiving this year? And you might think, you know what, I could just Google that might have been faster. Maybe. However, we're not just asking it one simple thing. If you just have one simple answer or question to ask, yeah, sure, Google it. However, we are conversing with ChatGPT in this case. And one of my favorite things about AI or ChatGPT compared to just regular Google things is that it remembers what you asked it, so you can converse with it like you were conversing with a person. For example, I had asked it, when is Canadian Thanksgiving this year? And then if I were to ask for the American Thanksgiving in Google, I would ask, when is American Thanksgiving this year? However, in this case, I will only ask, what about the American one? And as you can see, it remembers what I told it, what I asked before, and just answers based on that. So ChatGPT remembers the context of your question until you reset the chat, basically. And there are some features where it will remember. It has like advanced memory. For example, the paid plans have advanced memory where it will remember what you asked it just across chats even. But just to keep it simple for now, think of it as in your chat that you're currently in, it will remember what you asked it before. So if you want to completely change the topic, it's easier if you just start a new chat. That will be less confusing. Now, if you've never logged into ChatGPT before, just go to chat.openai.com or chatgpt.com also redirects you to that. And you will sign up using your Google account or just create a new account there to get you started. So once you're logged into chat.openai.com, you'll see something like this, where on the left you have the sidebar where you can start a new chat, view old chats, all the different chats there that I've already been through before. You can even rename a chat. So if it's getting confusing, because it will just give you a random name based on what it thinks the conversation just started about. But you can rename them to make it clearer for you, or you can even search through your chats. And the main window here is where the conversation happens. Now, we can ask it something and then interrupt it mid-response. For example, let's ask ChatGPT, how does the body digest food? And now, while it's generating the response, if you click on that stop button here, it just stops. So you don't have to wait for it to give us it's lengthy answer. If you made a mistake while you're typing or something like that, you can just click stop and it will stop generating it. So by clicking this little icon here, you can regenerate the response and you'll get another version of the same answer. Now you can also tell ChatGPT that you want a different answer, make those changes and give me a different answer. So if you want to go into specifics about different types of digestion or different parts of the body digesting food or things like that, you can ask it and give it another prompt. But just if you wanted same prompt, but just a different response, you can just simply click on that. You can copy the whole thing that it gives you if you wanted to paste it into a Google Doc or elsewhere, like a Word document or just somewhere else. Just keep in mind that it will copy literally everything, so it will have more than just the answer you asked. So make sure you then delete what you don't need from that. For example, of course, here's your essay that you asked me to generate, something like that. Like it will have like all the little GPT stuff that is just talking to you. It will keep all of those if you click that copy button here. You can also just manually drag over it and copy. That's also another option. But if it's a long text, if it's a long answer, I usually just use this copy icon. You can also share, so you can have a link that you'll share with somebody else. And actually, if you click that link, it will just bring you to that whole conversation that you had in that chat. So basically bringing you to that chat like it was before. And just be careful when you're sharing it because it might contain personal information. So just share it at your own discretion. Now keep in mind that ChatGPT does have limitations. Mainly, not everything is always completely correct. So some things could be either incorrect or outdated. It's just like when you're Googling something, you can't just trust everything you read on Google, right? Well, same thing, you can't just trust everything that ChatGPT just spits out at you. Whether that's solving an equation or writing an essay for you, thinking everything is completely factual, most of the time it works fine, it works great, but it has limited knowledge. Again, it is working based on what it's being given. So it has a pool of data that it's using to provide the information. It doesn't just have an infinite pool of knowledge that it just spits out or creates like just its own information. You know what I mean? Like it's learning based on something. Same thing with Google. You can't trust everything you see or read on Google. Same thing with AI. So just be mindful. You can't just blame AI for giving you something wrong, like a wrong answer. You can't just shut your brain off because you're using AI. You actually have to put some brain power into it to make sure that it's correct. Again, you can get your information from there. It works great a lot of the time, but you know, they're not to blame if something is not factually correct because it, again, could be the same thing on the internet. Now, this is still a basic feature, I guess, because it goes into more of the setting up ChatGPT, but it's kind of a hidden feature that a lot of people don't know about, is that you can have a temporary chat mode, like an incognito mode in ChatGPT. So you know how I said it has memory, so it remembers what you asked it. Let's just say you want to give it your resume to review or a picture for it to, I don't know, edit that picture or something, like you want to like Photoshop something using AI, but you don't want it to just retain that information in its memory. You can use the incognito mode, or actually known as a temporary chat mode in ChatGPT. So as you can see, you can just click on that button right here in the right hand corner and it just opens a whole new chat. So you can only do this for a new chat. If you're already on a chat, you won't see that option, but just go to new chat and then you'll be able to do that. So it's clearly different. It's black, you know, it's like the incognito mode again. And you see on the side, usually as soon as you start a new chat, you show it on the left hand side. In this case, you don't see it because as soon as you exit that chat, it's gone. It doesn't save it in its memory. It does not use it to learn. It's gone. However, I don't use that most of the time because one, I want AI to learn. I want it to learn because when it learns, it gets better and it helps me better. It serves me better. So I just use it like normal. And also, I like it to remember some things because I don't want to be asking it the same thing over and over again. Because just starting from scratch, like there is a little bit of a learning curve for it to better or to best match you, what you want and what you like. And again, if I'm asking you questions all the time on my YouTube channel or my business Chili Goose, if every time I have to say what my business is about, I don't want that. It's exhausting. So I just wanted to say already, okay, I wanted to learn that my business Chili Goose, I sell custom products, whether that's mugs, t-shirts, like custom like apparel. Again, mugs, gift boxes, and things like that. You already knows that. Now, if I want to make a post about Chili Goose, or if I want to make a new marketing material or something, or have podcast ideas on it, I will just ask it to give me podcast ideas on Chili Goose. It already knows what it's about. Now, another option, if you want something more permanent, is to go into the settings and actually change the memory options there. So if you go to settings, personalization, and if you see those two options from memory there, you're able to just toggle those off. So then it will not be learning from you, will not be keeping memory from you. Again, I leave those on because I want it to learn, I want it to help me best. So I use it as a tool, as a resource, but if you're worried about your privacy, you can toggle those off. Now, let's customize ChatGPT. So ChatGPT can be tailored to your preferences. If you go into settings and customize ChatGPT, you can fill out the fields like this one, like tone, style, expertise areas, and you can tell it what you want, how you want it. You can add your nickname. You can tell it, for example, that you only want short, like bullet point answers, and it will adapt and give you that. Or you can tell it to be more critical when it provides feedback, because usually its default is to just be very positive and to tell you, you know what, that was a great answer. Here's what you can add on it. Whereas you can ask it to, or you can make it be more like a critical and like sarcastic is an option that they have there. Or you can actually tell it, if I make a mistake, or if I make a mistake in logic, for example, point it out directly and suggest improvements. So if you don't want just all the praise from ChatGPT, you can make it work for you better, like the assistant that you want to work for you. Another thing that you can do is to ask ChatGPT to generate better prompts for you. So for example, I can ask it to rewrite my prompt to make it clearer and more effective. And then it gives me a better prompt that I could have used instead of the one I asked earlier. And basically now I know how to better talk to ChatGPT, what maybe it would want a little bit more. Something that you could do in terms of customizing the role, you could even ask something like, I want you to act as a tough coach who challenges my assumptions. Correct me if I'm wrong. So you could do something like that. So again, you can personalize the style and tone in settings. You can ask it to critique your ideas, your logic, or you can even make it provide stronger prompts for you. However, because you won't be asking ChatGPT to rewrite every single one of your prompts that you're giving it on the spot, it's probably better that you learn to just become better at giving ChatGPT its prompts, which will not only be the next video on the channel, but also the next video in the series. So in there, we'll be talking about the prompting basics, the craft framework, and even more advanced engineering prompts. And there we'll be talking about everything prompts, from prompts basics, the craft framework, and even advanced prompt engineering. So that next video is definitely a must watch. I would say if there's one video that you watch through this entire series, make it be the prompts video, because the better prompts you give ChatGPT, the better it will serve you, the better answers, responses it will give you. So if you don't want to miss next week's video, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification so that it tells you when this video comes up. I'm aiming to have 2 to 3 videos a week on this channel. We'll see how it goes, but I'm very excited. I hope you like the basics of ChatGPT in this video, and I'm very excited to be creating the next ones because it will be getting better as we go. So definitely let me know in the comments any feedback that you have about the video, or any video suggestions that you have. It doesn't have to be just on ChatGPT. I'll be creating videos on CapCut, YouTube, all the tech skills that you need to start a business, or even different business ideas and things like that that you could do online. Everything online here that you could use, basically anything that would make you be confident to say that you're tech savvy, everything will be on this channel. So again, different software. We're just starting with ChatGPT because I believe AI is the future and we shouldn't be scared of it. We should use it as a tool, as a resource. So thank you very much for watching this first video. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.